This place, it's perfect.
You like it?
Yeah, I like it.
So we'll get it.
Bobby,
What?
this place is really expensive. I mean, can we even afford it?
Don't worry about it. I got it.
But I do worry. I worry about you and I worry about us.
Listen to me. I know there are times where I don't seem present, where I don't seem like I'm here. I'm gonna try and change that. But at the very least, what I can do is provide for you and our little one right here. You two are the most important people in my life. So, do you want to live here or what? Well,
Yeah, I want to live here.
then it's done. Yo, realtor lady. What's her name again?
So
Elsa.
what's the verdict?
We'll take it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2024-2025 season of Sessa's Corner. That is correct. Sessa's Corner is finally back. My apologies for the hiatus, but we are back and ready to rock and roll with this exciting new season. And what you just witnessed, folks, is a special clip of perhaps the hottest independent film on the market, on the scene today, Dress Code. And ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce my guests for this return episode of Sessa's Corner, basically the nucleus, okay, of Dress Code. Right here with me, I have the legendary Gerard Garilli, the producer and lead actor in Dress Code. We have Joe Papello, the director of Dress Code, and the man that put it all together, who wrote it, okay, my good friend Peter Panagis. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are going to basically take you to the movies. Pete, Joe, Gerard, thank you so much, okay, for joining me this evening. Welcome to Sessa's Corner, and I'm telling you, let's get right down to it. You know, I have seen a lot of movies in my day, you know, especially independent movies. And I tell you, you know, of course, there's so many different types out there, but, you know, Dress Code is so captivating, and it really, really, really sets the bar, in my opinion, for, you know, the current independent filmmaking that's out there. And I mean, it captivated me, and I enjoyed it tremendously. My wife enjoyed it tremendously. So kudos to all of you. But we want to talk about how this masterpiece came together, this multi-award winning movie, how this came together. And we're going to, you know, get into all the nitty gritty of that. And again, thank you guys for joining me. And we're going to have fun, okay, dissecting this and so forth. So with that, without any further ado, okay, and I don't know how you guys want to start this. I mean, so let's talk about exactly how Dress Code came together, the concept behind it, the inspiration for it. I mean, who would like to start, and we'll go from there. Joe,
Back, I think the man.
Gerard, all right, please, Gerard, let's kick it off.
It's around, I think, 2019. Had this idea. I threw it out there to Pete. I was like, "What do you think of telling a story about set in the organized crime world, but you know, with a twist that never has been done in a mob film?" And Pete ran with it. He wrote a tremendous script, and that's what we really wanted to do. We wanted to do something ordinary, different, and something that hasn't been done before. So that's what we really tried to accomplish, and I think we did, based on a lot of the audience, you know, the reviews, the awards we've won, and, you know, from a minimal budget, what we accomplished is like an amazing, amazing accomplishment, in my opinion. I'm very proud of it. So the more eyes, the better. Just keep watching it, keep streaming it, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your cousins, tell your nieces. Well, nieces, it might be a little...
Depends how old you are.
It depends how old you are at the end of the day. But you know, I couldn't have done it without these guys too. Pete introduced me to Joe, and it's Joe's first time directing. He'll talk about that himself, but it wouldn't have been done without these guys. So all I did was have an idea, and, you know, we put it together.
Absolutely. And Gerard, thank you so much. So now let's kind of walk me through this. So Pete, Gerard presents you with this idea, this, a little bit of unconventional idea, and so he gives you the ball. Now it's up to you now to run with it and put it together from a script standpoint and screenwriting and etc. So walk me through how you take his idea and how you put it into words.
Sure. When Gerard came to me with the idea, he was playing on my love of cinema and mob films. What I was really interested in doing was creating an original mob film. Most of the mob films that we grew up watching, they're based on something. They're based on a movie.
Yeah.
They're based on a one-man play. So to create an original piece based on nothing was both the challenge and the rewarding part of this. He gave me the idea, and I had no intention of really wanting to make the movie. I was just going to take a stab at the basis of the film, and I wrote the script. I gave it to Gerard, and I said, "You're just going to need really good actors because it's all dialogue for the most part. It's the only thing I know how to write really is dialogue. I don't write big action pieces. I don't really know how to." So I remember Gerard's response to that was, "Hey, do you want to make the movie with me? Because, yeah, we're going to need good actors for this." And that's what got me on board, which got Joe on board. Joe and I have been friends a very long time, and we've worked together in the past. We made a film in 2012 called Love in a Coffee Shop, and which is how we met Gerard through the independent film circuit. And that, everything just meshed. Gerard liked the script. We kept working on the script. Gerard and Joe met. They, at least tolerated each other enough to want to make a movie.
I love the honesty here.
Fair assessment of it, I think.
I don't think there's a...
But we liked each other at first.
Yeah, I don't think there's a world where...
At first. That being the operative phrase, at first.
I don't think there's a world where the director and everyone can
Make
get
a
along
movie with
great.
somebody and
Like the
You learn
old
everything about them.
and that's what you learn.
Listen, like the old expression, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs.
That's right.
Okay,
That's
so
right.
there's so that's great. Okay, I mean the dynamics that you guys have just pointed out, and now let's take us into the actual filming process of the movie and getting all the pieces of the puzzle together, the casting and so forth, and determining the locations. Of course, there's a great local aspect to dress code. In fact, for those out there who either are from Nutley or currently live in Nutley, the legendary Nutley Elks building on Chestnut Street is one of the prime focal points of the movie in terms of locations used and so forth, among others. So
They let us shoot there late. I think we were going 2-3 a.m. some nights over there. They were really cool.
I just love that you did the research to like exactly the street. I couldn't tell you where it is. I couldn't even find it again. But
Was it noticeable? Like, did you know that was the Elks Lodge in Nutley?
and not at first, I'll be honest with you, but I did figure it out as it went along.
Okay.
I did put it together. I happen to be an elk myself, not a Nutley elk. I'm a member of the Lake of Pacon Elks, Lodge 782, where I now reside. But having grown up in Belleville, and of course, having a lot of connections to Nutley and a lot of friends in Nutley, and I'm all in Nutley many times. I mean, of course, you automatically know the Nutley Elks, and it's a staple. It stands out, needless to say. So, and I can imagine those evenings must have been very interesting into the wee hours of the morning with filming those scenes at the Nutley Elks building.
But phenomenal though, and they sometimes too when you get to these locations, you got to pay for them, or people are very specific on what time and where you could do and where you could do. The Elks was just like, here, just put when you're done, just let me. I was like, all right, thank you.
Yeah,
so they were very loose with us, and very patient, and that was worked out great because too locations I feel start from the writing, and Pete wrote these locations, and he's very smart about it because he wrote these locations, meaning like we're not shooting on. He didn't write a scene that we're shooting on top of an Empire State Building. You know what I mean? He wrote for locations that were doable and were realistic, and that's why I love Pete's writing too. And you know, as an actor, good writing is everything. And when the words are on the page and you can deliver good words, like, man, the rest is easy. I don't even think I was really acting in Dress Code because the writing was so good. And Joe was an amazing director, and first-time director, may I add, and very patient with me because I had to go to some places that were very uncomfortable and places that I've never been before, and that's what it was.
Fantastic. Now, Joe, to kind of walk me through your this was your first time as a director.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, take us through that experience. I mean, I could only imagine the roller coaster of emotions that you must have been going through, and then not only your first time, and then obviously having to deal with any personality conflicts or clashes that understandably are going to occur, and so forth. So kind of take us through that experience, of your first time as a director, and then of course the actual directing of this incredible independent film known as Dress Code.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. I mean, again, it was just as Pete didn't plan to make the movie after writing it. I didn't plan to have this part in it either. I was gonna, me and Pete, we have our company that we've had going, OL Productions, and basically we were just gonna work on it together and make it. And we met Gerard, as Pete said. As I said, we liked each other.
Yes.
Eventually tolerated, but then we'll get to that part. But no, we liked each other. Gerard, we had a conversation, and we were like, Gerard was like, why, maybe you should direct it. You look like you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You watch mob movies, you seem to know about it.
And exactly.
And we all vibed very quickly. It was a good vibe. We all were kind of on the same page. We all kind of, it was weird because it's, if you watch the movie, it's not exactly something you'd meet the three of us and say, hey, this is a movie that these guys are going to make. Yeah. Like, the mob, maybe, but the other part of it, the for those who haven't seen the movie, it's not just the mob movie. There's a lot more that goes into it, emotion-wise, and I mean, we could talk about it, we can talk about it as we go, but
of course.
It was a different movie. So the fact that we all suddenly were like super excited about it, I mean, I know for myself and probably for Pete, like, we wanted to make something. We haven't made something in a while, and we were super excited. So we just vibed really quick. I know Pete pretty much talked me into doing it, kind of, because I called him after we met with Gerard on the drive home at like midnight, and I was like, should I direct it? And he's like, you should definitely direct it. I was like, I don't know, maybe not. Why don't you direct it? He's like, no, why don't you direct it? So it was like, I was like, you know what? Let's do it. When are we going to have an opportunity to do this, especially if that's something we're excited about?
Yeah.
And it was, that part of it was pretty easy. I don't think I was super stressed at that point. And then, like you said, that was like 2019 about. By the time the script was pretty much ready to go, I mean, we were ready to shoot, and COVID happened.
Yeah.
Of course.
The night that we were confirming locations was the night that the world kind of shut down. The NBA shut down. Tom Hanks was stuck somewhere.
Tom Hanks had COVID, and the NBA season got shut down.
Yeah, everything shut down, and that was the night that we were doing it. So at that point, we already had casting. Pete especially, like, he was the lead on, like, Pete knows a good actor when he sees it.
Yes.
We sat down, we discussed it. I mean, we had phenomenal actors, and then fast forward, they had almost a year to learn the material, so no excuses when they came in.
Yeah.
So that was really helpful. So getting to the bar, like actually directing it, like I said, they had a year. So everyone knew their stuff. That wasn't even a concern. Everyone knew their lines. They got it.
You would hope. Yeah.
Yeah, and they did. I mean, for the most part, everyone came in ready to go, excited again. I mean, it was a good vibe. Directing wise, we had Andrew Phoning, who we hooked up with early on. He was our DP, our cinematographer. We all vibed immediately. Great guy. We didn't really know each other. That was like a kind of a last minute switch there for a DP.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah.
And we came in and everyone kind of just gelled really well.
And once production started, Joe, I felt like, not that Pete was in the background, but me and you really took the lead, and our chemistry built throughout the process. Like I feel
Yeah.
like the whole dress code process, not that without Pete it wouldn't have been
No,
done,
no, no.
but me and you, I feel
Yeah,
like
he's
we're
good. He was
really
down.
connected from filmmaker / producer actor and also as friends. Like, you know, because me and Pete knew each other, but you know, Pete brought you on board, and
Right.
then once you and I started to you know, get to know each other, I felt like you and I really connected as co-workers and friends. And that's what you want to work with your friends at the end of the day too, especially in
Ideally.
in a situation of making a film, you know, and you want to work with people you trust, and you want to work with people you're comfortable with, and that's very, very important to me, because everybody is comfortable. You know, you want to set a comfortable setting, especially for myself in a situation where I had to do some things that I've again never did before, or you know, but yeah, definitely.
Gerard's also infectious. Like the way he gets you really excited about
Nice
doing
word.
a film. Thank you.
Yeah,
One of my favorite words.
It's
a good word.
It is, you know, it gets you really excited about wanting to make the movie. When, you know, you give him an idea and he likes it, it makes you want to have more ideas.
Yeah.
You know, so that makes it all the more rewarding to make the film. And what makes Joe so great is, and why I could never do what Joe does, is his attention to detail and his patience with it.
He's
With
excellent.
directing,
Absolutely,
it's so
he's excellent.
important to have attention to every little detail. So
He's excellent.
yeah, it's something that's hard to replicate. It's hard to teach, and working with Joe and Gerard, because once we started production, my job was essentially writing, helping
show
with
up
the casting,
sometimes.
and I'd show up occasionally. But once I got to really
And yell
watch
at
them
everybody for not saying the lines the way he wrote them.
Yes.
Occasionally.
Yes, I'm a little hard on the actors.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the dynamic with me and Joe. I'll, tend to work with the people a little bit more when I'm there, whereas Joe has his eye on everything. And
Yeah.
if I was directing, the whole movie would just be making sure people said their lines properly.
Yeah.
And very little of anything else. Camera would
Right.
never move.
Right.
Hence why Joe was the director and Pete was the writer. I mean,
Yeah, and,
you know,
and the even special part too was Andrew, who Joe just mentioned as
Yes.
DP and editor. Joe and him were like really connected, and Andrew was so phenomenal.
Yeah,
and
phenomenal eye.
phenomenal eye too. Him and Joe together were really, really special. Like I wouldn't have had it any other way, honestly. And absolutely, yeah, for sure.
It's also
Sure.
rare to make not to toot our own horn, but it's rare to make under $100,000 film that's a feature. If you go to the film festivals now,
Yes.
it's 98% short films, which is great. No knock on short films, but to be able to do a hour and 47-minute film with a budget that is under six figures is one, very difficult, and watching Gerard and Joe accomplish that
Magic.
was very cool.
Absolutely.
And I'd say 85% of the way of filming, we were excited.
Yeah,
Like 85% of the way, we had that same excitement. And at the end, it got a little tough because it got harder.
Yeah,
and we
course.
had to focus on other things and making sure specific scenes were done correctly and over and over. And that's when Gerard started to tolerate me because he was like, "We gotta do it again, we gotta do it again." But we had to get it right.
yeah,
Exactly.
And we did.
yeah.
And needless to say, that all that hard work paid off. Okay, the movie has won, and we'll have you guys go through. From what I have seen on between within social media, multiple awards and various festivals, and everything, and so the hard work definitely paid off, and obviously there's always ups and downs, especially with the undertaking of making a movie. How could there not be? So, and then of course, I'm sure there were a variety of challenges that you guys encountered along the way, and take me through like some of those specific challenges, where you had to really hunker down and really, kind of tinker, or maybe that's not the right word, but really kind of, figure out how to get this done and get it done, like you say, Joe, the right way. Take me through some of those stories of maybe some of the challenges that you guys encountered along the way.
Yeah, Gerard can talk to. There was the one day, the hot day,
Oh,
as
God.
we should say.
Yeah.
There was a
85-degree day in November.
Yeah, it was pretty hot, and we had to film a very serious scene. It's the scene where Gerard is in a hotel room.
Yeah.
And the hotel room was scorching. I'm pretty sure the AC was completely broken, so at no point was it on, like, then shut it off and take in film. So that was pretty much the heat.
Yeah.
And it was tough. And stuff like that. And look, at the end of the day, you know, you're trying to not spend a ton of money, because it's a ton of money, right? So you try not to spend that kind of money, so you do what you can, right? So you go, you get the hotel room, not the most expensive hotel room, we get it though, you know, and you want to make it work. So you do what you have to do. So it can become stressful. It's hot. Everyone, it's a tough scene. Gerard has to be emotional. He has to get to that place. He gets to a different place, which is the angry place, because it's so hot and not the emotion.
It's
so,
not supposed to be angry.
so you have to stop, reset. Like, all right, take a break.
Recharge.
I said, Gerard, go take a shower.
Refresh.
And we shot out of sequence too, and I believe that scene that you'll see in the movie, which people, I mean, Cranford, we're applauding. Like you know, it was such a special feeling. But we shot out of sequence, so that was we shot that day 2. The scene that I'm talking about.
Yes.
Once people see it, they'll know exactly what scene it is.
Absolutely.
So we shot that second day.
I think second day. Yeah.
Second day. Yeah. So we shot out of sequence. I don't know if I recommend doing that, but when you're making an independent film and you're trying, sometimes the days actors, actors have full-time jobs, or somebody, or schedule is hard. And me and Joe were like, Joe helped me so much. The schedule was a challenge with people's availability and who could shoot on this night and what location is available on this night. That's always challenging.
Give a shout out to Eric for helping out.
Oh, handsome Eric, man.
Eric.
Where is handsome Eric, bro?
He's handsome somewhere.
Yeah, he is handsome in Brooklyn.
Salute to handsome Eric.
Bronx, the Bronx.
Excellent. So
He is in
now,
the Bronx, that's right.
So now let's talk about the multiple awards that the movie won. I mean, I've lost track and count of how many. I mean, every time I would turn on Facebook.
I gotta look on it's on IMDb.
I was like, oh, here's another. Gerard's posting about, the dress code won this at this festival, that festival. I mean, it was winning awards at festivals left and right for a while, from what I saw. I mean, how many altogether, roughly? I mean, you don't have to remember exactly.
I think it's like 23.
Over 20.
Yeah, over 20.
What made us really happy about it was it wasn't, and obviously we're happy with any award, and especially when the film wins, but what made us really happy about the festival and award shows were the different awards we were winning.
Right.
Whether it was for Gerard acting or Gerard's producing, Joe's directing.
So basically, every aspect of the movie was getting recognized.
Everybody got love.
Supporting actresses,
Freddie Moss got love.
Maria
Alex
Marinero.
Maria got love. Who played my wife or fiance in the film.
Yes.
Alex Petrolio, who's on Sirius XM Radio.
Yep.
She played Bobby's mother.
Okay.
She won. I think she won an award.
Yep.
That's
Did
incredible.
Andrew win? Jersey Film Awards are nominated?
It was at least nominated for
Yeah.
something, so just that everyone in part of the process was being recognized made it.
Freddie won. I think he won Jersey Film Awards last summer. Freddie, I'm pretty sure he did. Freddie's phenomenal.
Well,
Shout out to Freddie Moss. Happy belated birthday. He played he played my dad in the movie, and he was, that was all Joe. They worked with him on the movie. They said Love in a Coffee Shop. I didn't know much about Freddie. Also Frank Osso, who plays Uncle Rocco. He is amazing. Great guy. I'm in his fantasy football league. That's coming up in a couple of weeks.
I'm in that too.
Yes, let's go. Let's go.
You can see the bonding here.
Yeah. Frank is phenomenal. Again, Pete posted the breakdown. And then he narrowed it down. And then me and Joe, well, the three of us would have final say, but I feel like me and Joe really took the final.
Pete made sure he put the best people in front of us.
Yeah. He did.
That's what it was.
I narrowed it down to a finalist.
Yeah.
You guys picked the winner. No matter who you chose, even people who didn't get it, they would have done a great job too. But everyone who was picked, not to joke when I say this, was the first choice I had for the role when they were auditioning.
Yeah.
So they agreed with every single person that I actually thought was the best choice for it.
Yeah. And people don't realize this too. When you're doing a production, it's time consuming. It takes time, especially a feature film. We started. I think the first day of shooting was November 2021. here we are in 2024. We're still talking about this film and still pushing it to try to get as many eyes as possible to see this film, because I think it's very important. I think it's important for today's youth. I think it's important for a parent. I think it's important for relationships, and I think it's important for fellow filmmakers that want to make their film, because it could be done. It could be done. You could do this. You don't need $1 million to make a phenomenal film. You need a good team. You need a good script, and you need good actors.
If you have $1 million, let us know.
Yeah. But if you
can still make a film for $1
but if you
million.
do,
Absolutely.
We could make a film for $1 million,
Yeah,
right?
you definitely make a film for $1 million.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So then, with that said, now we talk about, again, for those out there who have not yet had the pleasure of seeing Dress Code, highly recommend it. Now, so tell me, I know it has streamed in various through various streaming channels recently. So tell me, sum it up for us currently, the best way to watch Dress Code currently.
Amazon Prime, Tubi. It is also on an app called Reveal, and it is also on Fubo.
Fubo TV, it's on.
Fubo TV.
Yeah.
Reveal's a great app. If anyone it's like
They actually got.
it's a nice. It's a clean app.
Yeah.
It's a really good app.
Yeah.
Economics-wise, we would love it if you bought it on Prime. Followed by that,
Yeah.
renting it on Prime.
Yeah.
Followed by that, Tubi, and then everything else.
Yes. Prime Tubi. Or
You got that, folks? That order?
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah. But that's the point. Like you want it. And from my perspective too, like you could make film like. You could make a film like once every 5 months if people are doing it. But I'm in the position too. I'm gonna be 38 this October. I got married. I want if I'm gonna put a project together, I have to be really passionate about it. I can't just force something out, which is why I take my time in between projects.
Of course.
Yeah.
Now, and we're going to touch on that a little bit further shortly. But Gerard, this of course was your third independent film project. You having done 2 independent movies prior, starting of course with Fratello, and then of course in between we had Hard Laughter, which was that, I believe that was the first movie that you and Pete
Yes.
were
And you have
collaborating
a cameo in that.
I have a small cameo in Hard Laughter at that legendary facility that we were talking about before that just closed.
Yeah, in Springfield. Really good people.
The legendary Comedy Cove in Springfield, which again, as Gerard just mentioned, just recently closed. Phenomenal facility. It was a great time. Having that experience.
That was a lot of fun too. Yeah.
What would you say though, Gerard, if you can, to the best of your ability, like the differences between, Fratello, Hard Laughter, in terms of the work how you went into those movies, compared to the experience of doing Dress Code. Kind of walk us through that if you could.
I would say Fratello's high school. Like, even though I wasn't in high school, like education-wise, I'm talking about.
Okay.
Fratello's high school. I feel Hard Laughter is like college, and I feel Dress Code is like going for like my master's. Like,
Okay.
yeah, and then like continue education. I feel like you want to get better with each film, and I feel like Dress Code is by far my best. Well, it is. I feel, and not to sound like conceited, because I'm not that kind of guy, but I do feel it is my best film by far, and I'm learning. And that's each one. If you watch each one, you see the growth in each film that I've made so far. So that's how I feel. Like I feel, that's the best explanation to explain that. High school, college, master's.
No,
degree?
I think that's
Dress
a very
Code,
fair.
You have that PhD and doctor, man.
That's right. PhD's next, and then the doctorate. So let's go.
Well, let's now. Speaking of that, okay. Speaking of that, I mean, listen, you beat me to the punch, but since you brought it up, let's get right into that. So, obviously, this begs the question, okay, and this could be answered individually as well as collectively. Okay, now with the success of Dress Code and the experience of it under your belts, okay, the $64,000 question without question is, what's next? What's next for Gerard Gorilli? What's next for Joe Papella? What's next for Peter Panagis? I mean, tell us what's next. What can we all look forward to next from you guys? Either individually or combination of all three.
Well, I still audition frequently. I had a couple nice ones last week. I can't really talk about them, but
It's okay.
I do audition often, which is also like acting school for me too, because it's being in front of the camera, it's memorizing lines, it's getting into character. So I'll always audition and and act and produce. But I tossed another idea out to Pete a couple months ago. So we're working on something that it's still early to tell.
Early stages.
The exact synopsis and what we're going for, but I might want to do something a little bit more loose compared to dress code, a little bit more, on the comedy base, but also on a drama base. So Pete's working on a script with me now, and if Joe would like to, I would like Joe to be the director, of course.
I
The
like
dream
the
team right
proposition
there.
on camera. I like that.
Yeah. I'm propping him on camera.
Nothing like an impromptu
So we're working on
negotiation.
something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
negotiate.
I don't know exactly
You can
when.
sign this right now.
Timeline, I'd like to say end of 24, 25. We'd have like hopefully a new film getting ready to roll.
Excellent. Well,
Yeah.
I can't wait.
But like that, yeah, I'm sure they're working on their own projects too and stuff as well.
So what do you guys have marinating? Yeah, please do tell.
I'm sure you know we're working on. You know we're working on. So, sure. It's like a secret.
So yeah, Gerard is right. I am currently writing the first draft of a script that'll be ready in September for a new crime drama, but a little bit more lighter than, or just a little lighter than Dress Code. Different, but something that'll be near and dear to all of our hearts. Joe and I are also working on a YouTube series. It's kind of like an anthology YouTube series where I was hired to write a couple of the episodes. Joe's directing them.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
It's being run by Chris Arrangio, who was actually in Dress Code.
Shout out to Chris. He also put us on to Andrew.
Yep.
Me and Chris met
Okay.
at a
is
film
huge.
festival, and he introduced me to Andrew Froning,
Okay.
who is the DP and editor of Dress Code. So shout out to Chris.
Wonderful. Okay.
Chris plays Vinny in Dress Code.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played. Yeah.
Okay.
He has a scene in front of Mr. Della Ferra's house. Shout out to Joe Della Ferra, Mr. D.
The legendary.
Shout out to Mr. D.
The legendary Joe Della Ferra, the Belleville native himself, a very dear friend of mine as well. Thank you, Joe.
Mr. D was used for Bobby Russo's house as a child and as an adult. That was Bobby Russo's main house, and Mr. D was perfect in the house too. Like, because I grew up with his son, Deli Jr. is one of my best friends, and I knew that house would be perfect for the script. I go, I got to figure this out. Del, can we do this? I know he hosts a big Christmas Eve dinner, so we had to associate, Mr. D's schedule, but it was great. And shout out to Mr. D and his wife Denise.
Also in a crossover universe, the scene that we
Crossover
have,
universe, okay.
yes, well, in that scene at Mr. D's house, we have a big spread of food for a funeral, and that food was catered by your friend Anthony Valenti and Valenti and Son. And we
Yes.
give him a shout out in the script.
Anthony Violante and
Yes.
Son. Yep.
Shout out to Anthony V.
452 Pompton
right.
Avenue in Cedar Grove, formerly, of course, of Franklin Street in Silver Lake. Longtime customer of Violante and Son, and will always be. Anthony and I have the pleasure of calling him a dear friend for over 30 plus years. And that entire family, very, very near and dear to me. So when you guys were picking, your choice of caterers, you certainly made one of the best choices that you could have made, to say the least.
Does anybody else feel like they're in an episode of Wayne's World right now for some public access TV? I feel like the intro would be cool. I don't know why. We're shooting at South Studio and Son, by the way, the best youth sports photography company in the tri-state area. We are shooting that here.
111 High Street in Nutley, New Jersey.
Nutley.
Come by, visit.
No, please, no. Don't if you run a youth sports organization, though, you can call us. Yes.
Give them the phone number.
Yes. 973-661-0050.
It's going to be plastic.
Welcome
on
to
the bottom.
Coffee Talk.
Yeah, put it along the bottom.
555-4444.
At South Studio and Son, we make memories that last a lifetime.
That's
folks.
right,
So
that's right.
Please keep that in mind.
That's right.
So now, as we pull all of this together, okay, and I'm so excited to hear the passion and the energy that you guys bring to the table, talking about dress code, you know, relishing in the fruits of the labor, and then of course hearing you guys talk about what you guys are working on. Granted, you know, you're not able to give us all the specifics at this point, you know, so we have to stay tuned as these things marinate and develop, you know, over the course of the next year plus, etc. Definitely excited and intrigued to see what's going to come about with these upcoming projects and so forth. But what we also feel, okay, and what's been obviously generated from this conversation is, you know, the underlying incredible passion that each of you, okay, you know, have for this craft, for filmmaking, for cinema in general, for movies. Okay.
I remember we were on the Wise Guys show last year, and they said the utmost, like, amazing. Shout out to them. They said a really nice compliment about us. I think they compared Joe to Scorsese, me to Harvey Keitel, and Pete to Paul Schrader, I think, or something. Like,
They said him for a grant.
They said they came and saw the movie too. We were on their show.
I remember when you guys
really
were on
really
there,
nice people, man, and they were very supportive. They came to Cranford to see the movie. But that was like one of the best compliments I think anybody could give an actor, director, or writer, or filmmaker, which was really cool. So shout out to them.
Shout out to the Wise Guys. I'm proud to say that they're good friends of mine as well, especially Freddie Tenor, Freddie the fireman. And yep, thanks Wise Guys. And I love what they do.
Yes.
And listen now, you know, and speaking of this passion for cinema that we all share, and you know, and we can talk about it, you know, we could take any one particular movie and probably just do a show just dissecting, you know, but I mean, that's what obviously the common ground that kind of brings us all here tonight is our, you know, all of our love for movies, the escape that it brings us, the entertainment that it gives us, and so forth. So just a quick run through with you guys, if I may. And I'll start with you, Gerard, and then we'll go to Joe and Pete. Just a few quick bullets, basically. Favorite movie, favorite actor, favorite actress,
Oh boy.
favorite line of a movie that comes to mind.
Oh,
and
man.
okay, I know these are
Can I
not.
do it faster? Yeah.
Well, listen, I mean, just you
Favorite
know,
movie of all time.
Take an hour and think.
I gotta go. Good Will Hunting. I gotta say Good Will
All
Hunting
right,
is my
Good
favorite
Will
movie of
Hunting.
all time. I would say that. Favorite actor? Man, it depends on the week, really. Sometimes it depends what kind of mood I'm in.
and listen, if you're torn between a few people, you
Right.
can mention all the names.
You know,
what the hell?
Jack Nicholson, I would say, is up there for me.
Okay, can't go wrong with that choice.
No, I would say, who's that actor? I don't know. He's a foreign actor. He's in. He played Hannibal on a show. He's also in a foreign film called The Hunt.
Mickelson?
He's phenomenal. That guy's great. What's his name?
From Bond. From
Yes.
The first Bond movie, Mickelson. Mickelson?
He's a foreign. Somebody want to look him up? He's great. He's up there for me too. He's phenomenal. Tom Wilkinson was really good. He just passed away. Actually, the inspiration from Dress Code came from a performance he did in a movie called Normal. It was an HBO movie.
Okay.
Yeah, he just passed away. So rest in peace to Tom Wilkinson. I would say favorite line. I mean, just because my mom had me watch this movie at like 6 years old, Gone with the Wind. So I would probably say, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Is probably my classic line, just because it's cemented in my brain since I was a kid.
And
Favorite
it's
actress?
very easy to remember.
Favorite actress? That's tough. Cameron Diaz, I used to like a lot. I thought she was really talented.
Okay.
I'm a big Jim Carrey fan. I loved The Mask. I thought she was great in that. There's Something About Mary. Probably one of my favorite comedies of all time.
That's what put her on the map.
Yeah,
for
I would
me
say There's
personally.
Something About Mary
Yeah.
is up there for me in terms of the comedy world. I think that movie's phenomenal. I think Ben Stiller is very underrated, by the way, as a director and as an actor. I think Ben Stiller's great. I loved his new series. Yeah. So I would say Ben Stiller, Jack Nicholson, the guy from Hannibal.
Yeah.
Someone
Diaz.
get me this dude's name because he's really good.
I just want you to keep saying the two.
yeah, someone.
I want you to keep requesting someone do a web search while we're doing this.
Let's.
For the guys in the back.
I think it's best that we move on to Joe and we have him take a stab.
I don't think you like him that much if you don't know his name.
He was great though, man. He's so good.
Joe, let's have you take a stab at your favorites. So who comes to mind? What comes to mind?
Yeah, I don't know about movies. I mean, there's a lot of movies. I can't really pick one. I mean,
Singles.
I was big into singles, soundtracks maybe.
Yeah, he likes
soundtracks.
singles. Singles he likes.
No, I mean,
Rocky.
I was big into like a lot of Hitchcock films and like some weird ones like Rope. I think is
That's a classic,
super clever
one
film.
of my
anyone
all-time
hasn't seen it.
favorites.
So I don't put that up there, although there's a bunch of the Hitchcock movies.
Of course.
And then, the comedy, When Harry Met Sally, which I would go with my line is, I'll have what she's having, is probably...
Yes.
And you can't go wrong with that one either.
Yeah.
Seinfeld lines. You got Seinfeld lines, even though it's TV.
Yeah, I mean...
Joe posted...
Is this you or me giving it?
Well,
I don't know. I'm
Wait,
confused.
If you follow
confused.
Joe on Instagram,
Who the other question?
there is a Seinfeld post once a week. Would you say, Pete? Once a week, a Seinfeld Instagram post for Joe.
So this is-
Who are the other
That's it.
questions?
That's
Who are
it.
the other
That's it. That's it.
So this is Joe Papello now, right? Okay,
Yeah.
Gerard,
I'm
okay.
gonna be Joe.
Okay, so again, it was favorite movie, favorite actor, favorite actress, favorite line. Now you already gave us the favorite line, okay, and so forth. So I mean,
Yeah, I mean, favorite actor, I mean, it's changed. It changes constantly. It just depends who I'm
It's
interested
me.
at the time.
It's
I was
me.
going to go with Freddie Mass, actually, but...
As you should. Freddie's
Yeah, I mean,
phenomenal.
I honestly, it's tough. I know Pete has literally a top 10 for each of these categories, so I don't know if he's going to go through them.
how about favorite actress? Anyone?
Favorite actress?
Anyone particular come to mind?
I got nothing. I don't know. There's yeah, no.
Alex DeTrolio,
I
Maria
feel like
Marinaro,
can't do it.
Dress
I
Code.
feel like
do
my
it.
family feud here. He's got to
Can't
pass,
do it. Yeah,
basically.
I'm
Oh
gonna
my-
pass. I'm gonna
Anne
pass.
Hesh was great,
I'll
too.
take the X on this
What
one.
about,
All right.
What about Anne Hesh? Anne Hesh was pretty phenomenal.
Gerard is desperately trying to help you with this.
6 days,
I
7
think-
nights.
I think
Not
it's
just
best.
Tom Brasco, right? Anne
All
Hesh?
right. I think it's best we move on to Pete.
Oh,
Okay.
give Anne Hesh
All
some
right.
love.
Come on, Pete. You take the stage now.
Also, God bless.
Okay. See
God
if you-
bless. Rest in peace, Anne
See
Hesh.
if you can right the ship here. Okay,
Just
please.
give us your list for all of them, and we'll be good.
All right. Favorite film of all time. My favorite film ever is Almost Famous. Goodfellas would be a close second, followed by The Godfather, parts
Okay.
1 and 2. Those would be
Okay.
my thing. Favorite.
Disturbia, Shia LaBeouf.
Well,
No, you
Don't throw him off now. Let him keep
What about
going.
Eagle Eye?
I
Eagle Eye
like
was a
that
man.
movie. Favorite.
Let him
My
keep
favorite
going.
quote is all the gin joints in all the world. Come on. That's my favorite quote, Casablanca.
Yeah.
Favorite actor? I mean, there's so many. I mean,
Yeah.
on a given day, Ben Affleck could be my favorite actor.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go since
He's
I'm
also my favorite actress. He's everything.
Since I'm a writer, I'm gonna just give you a couple of my favorite writers.
ahead.
Aaron Sorkin, Woody Allen. Those are my two favorite writers.
Okay. And you want to take a stab at the favorite actress or?
My favorite actress currently is Jessica Chastain or Anne Hathaway. Those would be my two favorite actresses. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Nice.
All right.
That was like clear.
Yeah,
Pete
so-
answered that to
Big
perfection.
Princess Diaries.
Needless to say, Joe and Gerard can take a little lesson from Pete here. And
Gerard threw me off. I mean, I think that's clear.
Well, Anne
I
Hesh?
think we got that.
Well, Anne Hesh
No,
was
you
rough.
threw.
Rest
I
in
think
peace,
you,
Anne Hesh.
I think you threw him off way before.
Way
Anne Hesh,
before,
but,
yeah.
That's another story.
Yes.
Well,
You
listen.
see the toleration we were talking about? The tolerating?
Listen, we just witnessed the
There
epitome
you go.
of toleration tonight, right here, as part of Sessa's Corner. So as we sum this all up, guys, and again, I can't thank you enough for your
Thank you,
time.
man. You're the best, buddy.
I appreciate it. Now, going through this, this experience and living through the what brought dress code, to the silver screen, and hearing all the trials and tribulations, the ups and downs, the challenges, the inspiration behind it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's very fascinating, very, very exciting to hear. Can't wait to see again, exactly what's next from all of you guys. And again, just to sum this up in terms of, again, for folks that have not yet seen Dress Code, let's just go through it again, where you can pick it up on streaming. As Pete said, Amazon Prime, okay, purchase or rent, followed by Tubi, the Reveal app, and Fubo. Okay, so plenty of opportunity, plenty of places for you guys to find and watch and enjoy Dress Code. And I guarantee you, folks, you will absolutely enjoy Dress Code. So check it out, get the popcorn ready, make yourselves comfortable, and enjoy Dress Code. Gerard, thank you so very much.
Man,
I
you're the best,
appreciate
man.
it.
Thank you.
Joe, a pleasure meeting you.
Yes,
Thank you for being able to
absolutely.
join
Thank
us. Pete, always a pleasure, my
Likewise,
friend.
sir.
I wish you guys all the best
Thank
with
you,
your
man.
upcoming projects. I can't wait to see what they're going to turn out to be. You know, I'll be there to take part in.
You may see a Sess cameo too.
Well,
We
we'll
need,
may
to,
see
we, need
us
to, we need
say-
to make that
we,
happen.
we,
You can also watch Sess and Hard Laughter. That's on Amazon Prime. He makes
I
a
am
cameo in that too.
absolutely open for
You
negotiations.
can also,
so,
yeah, Sess is open for
It'll
negotiations.
go for rent $4.99
Yes.
for purchase.
I think $12.99 it is. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
something like that.
I got it at a deal then.
Yeah.
I got it at a lower
Let's
rate.
have one of those Amazon credits.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, listen, thank you guys so much. This has been an absolute pleasure.
Thank
and
you,
an
Sess, for
honor.
having us. Long overdue, man.
Absolutely. Folks, once again, check out Dress Code. Thank you all for joining us for this edition of Sessa's Corner. To go back and relive all of our prior episodes, of course, please check out my YouTube channel under Anthony M. Sessa. Please subscribe, hit that notification, the bell for the notifications. Feel free to relive some of the previous episodes, obviously this episode, and of course, all the future episodes that are forthcoming in the hopper, I promise you. Thank you all for your ongoing support of Sessa's Corner. And once again, enjoy Dress Code. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.